These look like $70 games, but they're free, with a real story first and worlds that feel worth getting lost in. No battle royale filler, no arena grind. Just you, a controller, and a string of big cinematic moments that actually go somewhere. Take a breath with me and let's build your library right now. We start with the First Descendant, because it sets the tone immediately. Giant bosses that crash into the frame, glossy lighting that makes the armor and particle effects red cleanly, and a main quest that lands in your lap from Minute 1, so you always have direction. Always have a beat to chase, whether you're running solo or jumping into co-op. The Colossus encounters feel like theme park set pieces rather than random sponges. Guns have weight, abilities crack with impact, and the whole world has that new engine shine that makes you tilt your head and go, okay, this looks expensive, even though the price to start is absolutely free. Slide into Guild Wars 2 and the energy changes from pure spectacle to personal narrative, because here you build a hero, choose a past, pick motives, and the game remembers. Fully voiced cutscenes lean in at the right moments, the cities breathe with ambient life, and your choices echo into later chapters, so it feels like your fantasy biography rather than somebody else's rails. The art direction is stylized in a way that ages like wine. The score swells under the big beats, and you can finish an entire campaign in the core game before you even think about expansions, which means no subscription, no wall, just play free and let the world react to you. Then we jump trains into Honkai, Star Rail, which proves that turn-based doesn't have to feel slow when the pacing is tight and the cinematics punch like a movie. Companion missions play like short films with real setups and payoffs. Jokes land, and then a line from a character cuts through and you suddenly realize you care way more than you expected. Bosses stage their entrances like finales, patches drop fresh chapters, and there's always a new reason to log back in. It's polished in that press play and forget the clock way. It's cinematic without pretending to be a movie, and it's free. So if you want story and style in equal measure, this one just works. When you want to move fast again, Phantasy Star. Online too. New Genesis opens up wide fields and neon nights and lets you dash, glide, slam, and pose through seasonal story chapters that you can binge like episodes. The character creator is a rabbit hole, and the loop is simple in the best way. Drop in for a chapter, clean up a few big fights, watch a cutscene that tees up the next arc, and leave satisfied, or stay and chase just one more. Because the game is very good at giving you one last goal to tick before bed. Genshin Impact is the mega hit that still surprises people when they realize how much of it you can play for nothing. 7 nations, dozens of heroes, gods with secrets and motives, a film-quality open world where the horizon itself becomes the hook, and Archon quests that keep pushing the main story forward while side stories quietly flip your feelings about characters. Each region has its own mood and palette and song. You end up humming later. Traversal feels like a toy box. Climb, glide, sprint, cook, point at the screen and go, yo, look at that. And because it's fully voiced and always expanding, it's the kind of game you can revisit every few months and still find something new. If you miss theatrical spectacle in an isometric camera, Lost Ark scratches that itch with a long voiced campaign before the endgame even shows up. 1 hour you're sailing toward a storm under a choir. The next you're clearing a dungeon that stages a set piece so over the top you laugh and then realize you're grinning because they actually went for it. It plays like a blockbuster rather than a checklist. Villains know how to take the stage, and if you just want to download something, press start and be entertained, this one gets to the point fast and it's free to jump in. For the dark fantasy craving, Path of Exile delivers a complete 10-act story before it opens the endless endgame vault, which means you can treat it like a full campaign with a beginning, middle, and end. The cities rot, the forests whisper, the bosses roar, and the lore goes deeper than you plan to read at 2 in the morning while the promise stays clear. Completely free and never pay to win, so you can finish Acts 1 through 10 without spending a cent and still feel like you saw a whole arc play out. If you want your choices to wear a lightsaber, Star Wars, The Old Republic is still the place to be a Jedi, a Sith, or a reluctantly charming smuggler with 8 fully voiced class stories that lean into real BioWare decisions, light, dark, and that delicious middle where you make trouble. Mentors test you, enemies tempt you, friends surprise you, and the whole thing feels like a Star Wars season you actually get to drive, with the base stories free so you can pick a side and get moving tonight. Wuthering Waves brings the air combos and footwork, but it also brings a slow burn mystery under the hood. with sleek, unreal visuals on a world that's been broken for a while and still somehow whispers your name. Combat is fast in your hands. The plot is patient in your head. You jump and juggle and hang in the air a heartbeat longer than feels safe. And if you want something stylish and moody and genuinely story-rich, the free PC client makes it easy to dip in and see what the buzz is about. And then there's Warframe, which starts as pure power fantasy, wild speed, wild blades, a playground of space ninja chaos, and then pivots into full cinematics with the second dream, the War Within, and the New War, a trio of story arcs that change how you see everything you did to get there. The custom sets are gorgeous, the CG hits harder than it has any right to in a free game, and the reveals are the kind you don't spoil for strangers because half the joy is watching someone's face when the twist lands. If you want Red Dead level emotion inside a game that costs nothing to begin, this is the one I would end on, because once that final beat hits, you'll want silence, you'll want credits, and you'll want to just sit there for a second and feel it. These all look like $70 games. Some sell expansions and some sell cosmetics, but the story starts free, so tell me your number one pick in the comments. And if you want a part 2, type part 2, then take a breath. Install what called to you, and play free until the credits roll.